Eddie Hearn has just confirmed the future plans for the heavyweight division. So as you can see on screen now, Eddie Hearn has mapped out a potential plan for the heavyweight division. So today we're going to go through the potential fights, talk about them, just give my opinion on this whole planned out situation. So starting off, we've got Anthony Joshua versus Daniel Dubois, which is set to take place on the 21st of September, which is in Wembley Stadium, which is the Riyadh season card, or a Riyadh season event card. Sorry. Now this has been rumored that Anthony Joshua is going to fight on this card in Wembley. I think it's pretty much confirmed at this point. And the potential opponent now is Daniel Dubois. Now in the lead up to the 5v5, it was the matchup between Dubois and Hrgovic was being built up as the winner will face Anthony Joshua. Now they did think that fight on the 5v5 card would be for the vacant IBF title. Now obviously that was not the case. It was for the interim. Obviously the IBF champion right now is Alexander Usyk, who is the undisputed heavyweight champion. Now I think there was a mandatory coming up for this title. And Alexander Usyk obviously wasn't going to be able to make that quick turnaround after the Fury fight. So he has put in an exemption letter to the IBF to be exempt from fighting the mandatory and be able to keep the IBF title going into his rematch against Tyson Fury. So that would also be for the undisputed title again. Now, according to Eddie Hearn, the IBF title is looking to maybe potentially be freed up here in September for the Anthony Joshua Daniel Dubois fight. Now, there has been another potential opponent rumoured for Anthony Joshua, which is Zhilei Zhang. I don't want to see that fight. I mean, Daniel Dubois, in my opinion, had a great performance against Filip Hrgovic and Jarrell Miller. He's also the interim IBF champion. I think it makes sense that it's an all-British clash as well in Wembley. You can pair it off as Eddie Hearn versus Frank Warren again. I just think it's a great fight, to be honest. Both KO artists, especially if it is for the IBF title, Anthony Joshua would be looking to go on to become a 3-time heavyweight champion, which is kind of what he's expressed that he really wants to do. I think this is a great fight and the one that they should be working on to headline Wembley. Even if it ends up being for the interim IBF title, I think this is the fight that they should make. Now, in terms of who I think would win this, I think Anthony Joshua, in my opinion. I mean, Filip Hrgovic, we've seen in that fight against Daniel Dubois, was able to come over the top and land that right hand quite a lot in the earlier rounds against Daniel. Obviously, Daniel showed a good chin there. The Hrgovic and Joshua power difference, I can imagine, is quite drastic. I think if Anthony Joshua is able to get those same shots off on Daniel Dubois, I think he puts him down. I also think Anthony Joshua is a much better boxer than what Filip Hrgovic is. I think he does a good job working off his jab as well. Now, I don't think it's as one sided as what people are letting on. I mean, Daniel has showed that he has improved in his last two fights, especially. I mean, Filip Hrgovic was the favourite going into that. I think a lot of people thought Filip Hrgovic was going to do a job when Daniel Dubois in there. That wasn't the case. He showed that he could ride the wave of adversity in the opening rounds. Like I said, he was getting cracked quite a lot. And the power that he showed, he butchered Hrgovic's face, cut him on both eyes. And as we all know, Daniel Dubois is also a very heavy-handed fighter. He is one of the biggest punchers in the heavyweight division. Overall, this is just a great fight. I hope it happens. And I think it makes the most sense. I don't get why you would do the Zhilei Zhang fight over Daniel Dubois versus Anthony Joshua. Just doesn't make sense in my opinion. I think you could do Zhilei Zhang versus Joseph Parker, the rematch, on the undercard of this Wembley as the co-main event, of this Wembley card, in my opinion. The next fight, which is one everybody knows, is Alexander Usyk versus Tyson Fury 2, which is set to take place on the 21st of December. Now, I'm pretty sure the rematch was set to take place in October, although realistically, after the fight that both men just had, October would have been a bit soon. I don't think December might be a bit soon, but this is the date that we have been confirmed. Now, according to Eddie Hearn, the rematch would only be for the WBA, WBC, and WBO titles, which I get that the IBF title has had a mandatory that's been put on hold for quite some time now, but I don't know. I feel like this rematch deserves to be for Undisputed as well. But nonetheless, obviously this fight was going to happen. Alexander Usyk has to be the favourite going into it, however. And a lot of people are writing Tyson Fury off. I still think Tyson Fury is going to beat him in the rematch. I think Tyson Fury had a really good showing of himself in that fight. There's just a few wee things he needs to tweak, and I think that he can't beat Alexander Usyk. Either way, though, I am so excited for this rematch. The first fight definitely delivered, and then that would mean then we'd be set for another undisputed title fight in April-May time of 2025. Now, how I'm predicting this would go would be Anthony Joshua knocks out Daniel Dubois to capture the IBF title if it does become vacant. If not, he'll become the interim. Then for Alexander Usyk, Tyson Fury, I'm predicting Tyson Fury to beat Alexander Usyk in the rematch. Now, I've seen people saying, well, then that will mean the trilogy will have to take place between Usyk and Fury. I think if Fury beats Usyk, Fury will then be put into the fight against Anthony Joshua. I feel like that is the plan. I feel like that's what everybody wants to happen. But who knows? We could end up maybe potentially getting an undisputed fight between Daniel Dubois and Alexander Usyk next April-May time. They could end up having a rematch. Who knows? The heavyweight division in boxing is on fire right now. Let me know what you think about this potential plan in the comments below. And as always, like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. And I will see you again in the next one.